Hello, everybody. I'm co-pastor Gail M. Gilmore from Grace and Twine Ministries in Portsmouth, Virginia. My husband is the pastor, James E. Gilmore Sr. And I'm coming on behalf of one of our dear friends. We're wearing purple in her honor and also in honor of October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Just recently, in one of our sister cities, even yesterday, there was a husband that was found guilty of killing his wife, which was a domestic violence situation. Even killing her on a Sunday as she went to her first service, made an announcement about the upcoming anniversary for her pastor, left the first service, was supposed to come back to make the second announcement. Her husband picked her up, and there had been some issues that were building and building. She didn't make it back to the second service. Matter of fact, he did what he did in between, was even trying to get out of town, headed to Jamaica. And yesterday they found him guilty within an hour. All the evidence, so much evidence was overwhelming, although they haven't found the body. And he has refused to let anybody know where the body is. They have two teenage sons. But as the story unfolded, it just opened new wounds for me. It reminded me of our dear friend, Sharon Dixon. I want to share a clip and then I'll be right back.
Sharon Dixon was shot by her abuser and lived to tell her story in a book. We featured her journey in 2006, and sadly, this update is not good news. Barbara Sierra's in the newsroom with a story you will see only on 3.
You know, every 9 seconds a woman is battered here in the United States, and 33 years ago, Sharon Dixon became one of them. She's been hospitalized over the past 4 weeks. The gunshot that paralyzed her years ago has created a new set of health problems, and now a strong local voice against domestic violence is temporarily silent. She was so brave when she told us her story back in 2006. The gunshot that changed her young life.
The wrong word. And the gun went off, and it went through my nipple, and it came out in my back.
She recalled how her husband became even more abusive after she was confined to a wheelchair.
He got angry with me, so he slapped me out of the wheelchair onto the floor.
Sharon told her story to Gail Gilmore, who put her words into print. The book is titled, Only by the Grace of God. Each book signing encouraged women in Hampton Roads to fight back against domestic abuse. Mary Alice Good told me Sharon's words changed lives when she spoke before her women's ministry.
There are women right in the church who are going through these things, and they're just not talked about.
Gail, Sharon's friend and author, visits Sharon every week in the hospital.
I believe that she would want everybody to know.
She feels if Sharon can't speak, others will speak for her against domestic violence.
She's forgiven. She's turned negatives into positives, but there still can be lingering consequences, and hers is physical.
Sharon was scheduled to do another book signing next month, as she has in the past. Mary Good's ministry pledges to tell her story, even if she can't be there to tell it herself.
Because she really is someone that everybody needs to know about, women especially, and everywhere.
Sharon left her husband after years of abuse, and 1 week later, he was killed in a gambling dispute. Sharon's story and book will be featured at an event sponsored.
All right, so that was Sharon Dixon's story, and that was my good friend, Sister Mary Good, her ministry, Women in Christ, and she was getting ready to do that next book signing, but sadly, she passed away before that book signing could take place. And as Sister Good said, again, that was one of those situations and things. That's like I come and talk about money and things in the church, but also these situations dealing especially with domestic violence, sometimes even more so with women of faith. Well, I'm coming on today as I do every year, and I wanted you to consider reading Sharon's story, my book. I wrote her book. I wrote her book in 2006, and she did pass away. In those 2 years, we were jam packed, and we were just sharing information everywhere. We were featured everywhere on the radio. Even all the way down to Florida. We were doing a lot of things. And we always felt that if we could get some words of prevention out, that if at least one woman, one more woman would be spared from, like we say, this silent maimer, this silent killer, especially women. The statistics, every 9 seconds, a woman is battered in the United States. And so I would love for you, if you would, to consider ordering my book, purchasing this book, Only by the Grace of God, the story of Sharon Dixon. And I'm also sharing this very informative, there's a lot of information on just this one little pamphlet. And we used to distribute these, Sharon and I, um, from the her shelter, the help and emergency response, always included in my book, because I remember there was one time that we did a book signing and we shared the book. And I'll never forget it. We were in the mall. This young lady came over, talked to Sharon, got the information, started reading about a lot of these red flags and everything. And that very night, this lady, she got out of that uh, relationship. She contacted Sharon a little later. And so this is what it's all about. It's preventable. It's preventable. So sad that domestic violence happens like this. But again, if you would, and I do this every year around this time, if you purchase one of my books, a portion of this does go to the Her Shelter. The Her Shelter was a place of refuge for Sharon when she was going through those episodes of domestic violence. So remember that October is Domestic Violence Awareness. And those that maybe might be even going through something right now, don't stay silent. Tell somebody. Seek help, because it is preventable. So I thank you for listening to me. And yes, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Domestic Violence Month. And the color is purple. So thank you again. Be blessed.